It's time to rank the Arsenal player. Oh. Don't know what happened there. But yeah, guys. It is time to rank the Arsenal players so far this season. Obviously, we are coming up to Christmas now. Christmas is on Saturday. And we're getting so close to 2022. And this is a perfect time to rank the Arsenal players so far this season. It is going to be very interesting, though, because obviously we were rock bottom at one point in our opening 3 games. And now, we are in the top 4. Like, who would have predicted that? And another thing as well, just before I do get into ranking these players, 28% of you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel. So what on earth are you doing with your life? Please turn that subscribe button grey. Also, leave a cheeky like on the video as well. And also leave a comment and share this video and the channel with every single person you know. Like, doesn't even matter if you don't like them, or just make them subscribe, for God's sake. Much appreciated. Now let's get on to ranking these players. So here is a tier list maker itself. We're going to be going from elite, class, good, average, poor, non-existent, and needs more games. Just a quick reminder that the needs more games category is not the bottom category. The category is just there just in case if any of the players who we haven't seen a lot this season and generally needs more games. So the first player we are going to be starting off with is Callum Chambers. Now, this guy obviously played a couple of games at the start of the season, Brentford and Manchester City. He's played a couple of Carabao Cup matches as well. For me, I'm not really sure if he's had the best starts to the season. So I'll tell you what, I know it's harsh, but I think he's been pretty poor. Alright, next up we have got the best tank in the league, Kolasinac, who is right now injured and will probably be injured until late February. And if I'm being honest, he has not even been that bad whenever he's played. Do I want him at this football club? No, but he's done okay. So for me, he goes in average. Damn, this tier list maker is going quite harsh, isn't it, to start off with? Because next up we've got Mohamed El Neni, El Clasico, El Xavi, El Messi, El Pirlo. All of these names, all of these football names you could describe him with. You know, after that Manchester United game last season alongside Thomas Partey, that was the game where we thought, hold on a minute, this guy probably playing for a new contract. But after that Manchester United game, he's just been average, hasn't he? Very bang average, and he's someone that is, you know, I wouldn't mind getting rid of. So for me, it's quite harsh to put him in poor or non-existent. I'll just put him in the average. Alright, next up we've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, I think the guy has been very unlucky that he hasn't started more than, how many games? 1 game? 1 Premier League match, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, when I thought the last Premier League game he started, I thought he was brilliant. I think it was against, was it Watford? I think it was, and he was really impressive. I think it was against, was it Watford? I think it was, and he was really impressive. And for me, I think the guy does need more games, if it does let me put in the category. Yeah, I think he does need more games, if you ask me. Whenever he has played, he has done a job. Alright, next up, Jesus Christ. This tier list, like I said, is very harsh to start off with, because the next one coming up is Rob Holding. And for me, the guy has been very poor this season. What can I say? The guy is just too slow. Alright, those are a couple of squad players out of the way. Now we're moving on to a couple of the first team. And the first one coming up is Thomas Parte. Oh my, this guy is so inconsistent. I thought he started the season really, really well. You know, after that game against Tottenham. And he was essential to that midfield position. After that, after when he got an injury against Watford, he's come back and he hasn't really been that great. For me, has he had a good season or has he been average? I don't know. I think I'm going to put him in the good. Okay, next up we have got one of our new signings of the summer. Do you really say it's a new signing? I think you can, because we signed this guy permanently. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It is Martin Odergaard, who, has he been the most disappointing signing this season? I mean, he's come back into the team. There was a moment where he scored 3 in 3. Really, really good the past few games. And I tell you what, I think he has had a very, very good season so far. Not a class season, but a good season so far, in my opinion. So far, in my opinion. Now we're going to move on to the goalkeepers. We've got 2 here to rank right now. And, well, the first one pops up. Aaron Ramsdale. And for me, that guy, right, 24 million we signed for him. 24 million for a goalkeeper who has been relegated every season. Pretty much with their club, with his club. You know, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, of course, both of them went down. And right now, you've got to feel sorry for him. Like, has he put in a poor performance this season? I don't think he has. So for me, he goes into elite. What a star. What a star. For me, he is, at the moment, player of the season. And also the signing of the season. So, yeah, well done, Ramsdale. Well done. Next up, another one of our goalkeepers, Arthur Okonkwo. I'm going to put him into the needs more games category. Obviously, he did play in a pre-season game against Hibernian, I think. Hibernian, however you say the team's name. And let's say he had a terrible game. And let's just leave it at that, you know. That mistake was absolutely calamitous. Calamitous. Alright, next up, we have got the Flying Scotsman, Kieran Tierney. And could he potentially be captain in the next few weeks? Hopefully he will. I don't think this season he has put a foot wrong. I mean, he hasn't really been, you know, top tier like Ramsdale has been this season. But I tell you what, he's had a good season. He hasn't really put a foot wrong so far. Tell you what, I think this tier list is actually shaping up to be a positive tier list. You know, we've got 3 players in good, 1 in elite, 2 in average, 2 in poor, and 2 in needs more games. I think that's all right. What do you reckon? Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Nicolas Pepe, for me, start the season, he was pretty poor. In fact, no, he was woeful, absolutely woeful. Right now, he's just not even on the pitch. We can't see him. He has not touched grass in how long? I can't even remember the last time he played. Was it the Leeds game in the Carabao Cup, and that was like in October, something like that? For me, a lot of people might put him in poor, but I'm actually going to put him in needs more games, because the guy's just not played this season, has he? He's played, what, 3 games this season, 4? And it just hasn't worked out, and I can see him leaving in January, which is such a shame, man. Alright, moving on to another one of our centre-backs, Benjamin White. I'm not sure whether it's Benjamin, but Ben White. For me, good. I think start of the season against Brentford, obviously that was his debut. He was pretty woeful, and we were thinking, what have we done here? Since Gabrielle's come back, I think he's been really, really solid. And obviously in that last game, spoiled the clean sheet against Leeds, which was a bit of a shame. But for me, I think he's had a good season. Oh, okay. Another interesting one. Eddie Nketiah. For me, he's actually scored quite a few goals for us in the Carabao Cup. The goal against Wimbledon. Great finish. I don't know. I'm going to put him in the average. Okay, we are getting somewhere here, guys, because the next player we are going to be ranking is... Do you see it? Emile Smith-Rowe. And for me, this guy, even when he has been a substitute, he's come on and he just scores. Every single time he gets the ball, you know, out of his feet, the ball just goes into the net. And for me, he goes into elite. What can I say? He has been fantastic this season. Him and Ramsdale has been just brilliant. And there's going to be another player in that elite category. You will find out in a second. Next up, we've got Kyo Sakka. Now, Kyo Sakka for me started the season very slow, but I think he's picked up the last few weeks. You know, he's been nowhere near the level that he was last season, but for me, he goes into the good. Right, finally, guys, I can actually put a player in a category that is above good, and that is Tomiyasu. For me, the only reason why I'm putting him in class is because we've been screaming for a right back. No, I'm kidding. That guy has been class this season. I don't care what anyone says. You know, a lot of Arsenal fans have been calling him Tommy Cafu, and that just made me laugh, man. Tommy Cafu, that is absolutely amazing. Yeah, yes, I know there has been a couple of games where he has not really done much, but I don't think he's been dribbled past this season. I really don't. Your boy goes in class, okay? He's been fantastic. What do you think, guys? Do you think that is decent? You know, quite a few players in good, 1 in class, 2 in elite. Well, we're going to make that 3 in a minute because Gabrielle Magolas is up next. I'd say his second name. I'm still struggling to pronounce that second name. Obviously, we heard that he got robbed by some idiots that followed him home. And yeah, that was actually before this season. And the fact that the guy has actually took his mind off all of that. You know, 24 years of age. I think he turned 24 yesterday. And yeah, it was just horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And getting over the thing that must have been frightening for him is fantastic. Well done, Gabrielle. Now, another player that hasn't really featured this season, and that is Balagun. Started the first game of the season. I'm just going to put him in non-existent. Now, moving on to the second to last signing we're going to rank in this tier list, and that is Nuno Tavares, and or Tavares. I think it's pronounced Tavares if you're Portuguese, but obviously a lot of Arsenal fans pronounce his name as Tavares. For me, I think Tavares has been, whenever he's played, so dangerous. He's made that left-hand side, our left-hand side, so threatening. And yeah, I know people can look at the game against Liverpool, but again, don't forget, this guy is young, and the amount of great games he's had this season, he would have been an elite if he would have performed in that game against Liverpool. But for me, he has been class this season. What a backup left back. Another one of our new signings, another one of our midfielders, Sambila Conga, who started really well in the last few games. Sorry, not the last few games. The first two or three games. He was probably our best player when we were rock bottom of the Premier League. He was fantastic. Very, very impressive. And right now, unfortunately, he's not getting a look in. Obviously, he didn't feature against Leeds because apparently he had COVID. I think he's been good. Whenever he's played, He's done a job. Now moving swiftly on to the Brazilian streets, if that makes sense. But Gabrielle Martinelli, for me, obviously hasn't been around here for 2 years, has he? Obviously picked up an injury, hasn't featured that much this season and obviously last season, but obviously got his chance against Newcastle, scored, played against United, brilliant, and for me, after that, he's been so good, absolutely brilliant, and I don't know, hasn't played a lot this season, but the games he has played this season, he's been so good. Between class or good, I'm going to put him in good. Oh no. Aubameyang. Look, the guy at the start of the season was scoring goals. He was I was like saying, I tell you what, this guy is actually back in form. And yeah, obviously he was in the team when we were on that 10 unbeaten run, and I thought he was playing well. But now, obviously, he got stripped captaincy. He's no longer our captain. Yeah, it's gutting. It is gutting the way it could potentially be ending. For me, I think I'm going to put Aubameyang in the average. Another one of our right backs, Cedric, for me, just has not. Another player just has not played this season. I'm still confused why we signed him permanently when we have plenty of other right backs ahead of him. All right, next up we have got Alexandre Lacazette. We've got 4 players left, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess the 4 players. Lacazette, for me, I think he has had a really good season. People might put him in good, but for me, I think he's had a fantastic season. Whenever he's come in, he's made an impact. You know, he wins fouls. You know, when the guy glides past players, he just keeps hold of the ball. Leno, for me, average. I mean, the guy hasn't really been too bad whenever he has played in Carabao Cup matches. The only poor game I've seen him playing this season was the Brentford game. Granit Xhaka, for me, I think has been, I mean, he's been injured for most of the season. I'm going to put him in average just because I think Granit Xhaka, you know, yeah, I know people might say he's been pretty solid when he's come back, but again, he just has not played a lot this season, so it's quite hard to judge him. And we'll just rank this last player here, that is Pablo Mari. For me, I'm very surprised how poor he has been this season. He started the season playing against, was it Chelsea and Brentford, and he was just shocking. He was getting bullied all over the shop. So for me, he goes into the poor category. So there we have it. That is the final tier list maker on the screen right now. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, guys, that is the final tier list maker. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Share the content around. We help each other, okay? Please, it'll be much appreciated. See you guys in the next one. Peace.